we're here for the month of Create, with the most creative person I know, which happens to be my dad, Jonny Boatfield.
What can I say?
I know, well, yeah, you are. And so this month with Wildish Club and with our zine, we are focusing on create and whatever that means. And you've drawn some beautiful pictures in the guide and written a wonderful piece. And I think potentially the first thing I wanted to talk about with you is around your ideas of how anyone can draw and some of your experiences with that.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. And in the piece that I wrote in the Wildish zine, I was outlining that I often come across people in workshops and that sort of thing who are terrified about white pieces of paper. And how they have gleaned over the years an unnatural idea of what is good and what is bad in art.
Yeah, totally.
Which stops people from creating, and it's very, very frustrating. So you throw a little hand grenade, metaphorical hand grenade, obviously, into the session by just starting them off sometimes with doing them a picture myself, and they can colour it in, and with the colouring it in they then move on to doing their own work. It's very easy actually to break down those barriers, and it can happen very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Sometimes within minutes, sometimes in a half hour.
Yeah.
And it's just enthusiasm and confidence is what's needed to get started. I mean, the whole thing with art, which is a wide definition of creativity, if you like, is that art is anything which enhances your life.
Yeah.
Okay. Walking backwards across level crossing while whistling Dixie, if that's your thing, that is creativity, that is art, okay? And great art is anything that enhances other people's lives. So doing pictures that people really like, or, that bring people together.
That's an amazing definition. You've actually never said that to me ever.
No, because I'm not up myself to that.
Yeah. I mean, but that is quite interesting because I think people compare themselves to great art.
Yeah.
And that's almost impossible.
It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
And I think for me, it's quite interesting. For me, as I've growing up around you, and your art is great art, in every sense of the word, it is quite hard to compare yourself to that. So for me, my art definitely has gone in other directions, which are very, very different to yours. But I would still say that I do a lot of art, a lot of creativity.
Yes, you do.
But I think that in part is because comparing myself to you is impossible, right? So that is quite an interesting...
Yeah, comparisons are appalling and unnecessary, and it shouldn't be happening. But somehow, through the school years, people pick up this idea of what is good and what is bad. Yeah. Where it comes from, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe it's from watching a television show or reading it in a book or whatever.
Totally.
But it is very frustrating.
Yeah.
And it's those things that you've got to break down.
Yeah.
On when you're doing workshops and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's why workshops are so useful.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a group of people who are all struggling together, or who are all coping together, then it's so much easier to break it down in that situation, rather than you being at home and holding your head in your hands and saying, I'm useless, I can't do this.
Yeah. Definitely.
You need the companionship of other people.
Yeah. And
really.
And obviously you've done huge amounts of that. And actually one of the big ones being the big draw.
Yeah.
Which I actually I loosely know how that all happened and how that started. But can you tell us a bit more about like what the Big Draw is, what your involvement in it has been,
sure,
how that's impacted your life work?
Well, the Big Draw, it was exciting to me in the fact that you have a day when anyone can come and draw. They don't pay, and you can interact with people from all walks of life, from children to adults to people with learning disabilities, and you can actually create something during the day. And with me in the Big Draws, I try and have a theme and build something three-dimensional, something which is a bit awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
And that can really trigger people to want to go home and do their own thing, if you like.
Yeah. How did it start?
It started with Quentin Blake, who was the Children's Laureate at the time, and he wanted to do something which was going to affect a lot of people and go on into the future, even when he wasn't laureate anymore. And it's become a worldwide project now. I did several in London at the very beginning of the Big Draws. And we did some very grand and exciting things.
I can remember them well.
Yes, you were involved.
I painted a badger on a floor by mistake.
You really did. And and it doesn't matter.
No, that's it.
That's the great thing about the days. They're just fun.
Yeah.
And there is an outcome at the end of it, which everyone could look at and said, I was part of that. That's awesome.
Yeah, totally. It's amazing.
I think it is, because it just makes people see it all in a completely different way.
And how many people do you think you might have actually taught to draw?
Oh my God.
Literally, it must be tens of thousands?
Well, I think that's a little extreme.
I like to go big.
I know you do.
Definitely
Hyperbole
thousands.
is the language you talk.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But
thousands?
I'd say about 1,000 or so.
Still quite
I've done a lot of workshops outside of the Big Draw as well, so yeah. And I teach students as
thousands.
well.
I'm definitely going to go
so
thousands.
There's loads of them.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully it's meant something to just a few of them, some of them, whatever.
And like you, I know, obviously, and that you have had quite a lot of, it's not necessarily always been easy for you being an artist, and very excitingly, you are about to have your first one-man exhibition, which is incredible, and I feel very proud and excited. And
I feel excited about it.
Good.
And this is sort of 30 years of pictures mouldering in corners, waiting to be shown to people.
Which is amazing, and they should have been shown much earlier, but here we are. There's always a good time to start. But I think, but it's not always been like, you haven't always had people believing in you, right? For even like lecturers, all that sort of stuff.
No.
Because I think that's one of the hardest things, right? And I think the hardest thing in art, in business, in anything, is that actually you do get a lot of people who are unsupportive or don't believe. Not everyone at all. You have wonderful people as well who are your biggest supporters.
Usually there's one or two people in a group of people who can get behind you and support you. And I found that. I went to 3 art colleges, I think, and only found that real support when I got into the final college. But before then, there was always somebody saying, I think he should go up a stepladder and draw a mural during the graphics things, and which was fantastic. But it was a struggle a lot of the time. Because I kind of knew what I wanted to do, and it didn't fit necessarily into the neat curricula.
And I think I feel incredibly lucky to have grown up around that, and I feel it's always been very inspiring for me to see that, because I think that you know, I've watched you be incredibly passionate about something, and even if it's not completely going your way or working or whatever, you've always persevered, and you know, and it has.
It has worked. There's lots to be said for quiet aggression. Yeah. At some point in most projects, you go, right, I'm going to finish this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but I think it's amazing, and I think that to be able to go up against everything, right? Whether it's because your work is incredibly unique. You have never conformed to a style that is, you know, like highly sellable or anything like that. You have carried on creating in your own style, which is absolutely incredible, and I think is now, you know, actually becoming something which is appealing to a lot more people, but it's just taken 30 years, you know. And I think that's really interesting, right? But it just shows that.
Well, we'll see after tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, you've already sold a picture.
It's because, as you know, some people, it should be explained that my pictures are usually incredibly detailed.
Yeah.
And my devil is certainly in my detail.
Yeah.
And it's the thing actually I'm passionate about when I'm doing a picture. I never plan out the pictures before I start.
No.
It's got to be a journey that surprises me.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean.
And would you say that is in part your creative process?
That is my creative process. Total randomness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I have inherited that. I have very much inherited that, Dad, and Nellie's very unhappy about it. But yeah.
Yeah, I am the random man.
Yeah, as one should be. I believe in that completely.
Well, yeah, and sometimes I don't pick up the thread or the big idea until I'm halfway through.
Yeah, amazing.
You know what I mean? So
you always start there, right?
If I knew what a picture was going to be like before I started, I wouldn't bother to do it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. I need to be entertained in my own picture.
Yeah.
Which makes up for all the graft that goes into it.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, the drawings are very, very detailed with a lot of cross-hatching and what have you in it.
And I mean, more than anything, they're entire worlds within an image. And
they are.
And that's something that I've always, again, like...
I love the idea of a picture novel.
Yeah.
Like your hyperbole.
Yeah.
I find it funny.
Yeah.
When it's so detailed that there is no piece of white showing from the original paper coming through.
Yeah, that's true. It's amazing.
And I can't help myself, and basically, I just grind to a halt. I don't finish a picture.
Yeah.
At the same time, I never return to the picture.
No. But I think in all of those pictures, there is a world, and I think that ability to create an entire world is exceptional. It's incredible, and I think I always really admire and aspire to be able to do that, because and for me, I do that.
You don't think it's a mental tick?
No,
If I draw a house, I have to have the gutters where the rain can go down and then go into.
I think it's. I think it's an ability to just think beyond and think what's possible and what could be. And
I like to think of the pictures as picture novels, if you like.
Yeah.
They're telling an entire story.
Yeah.
Which is a story which, yes, I'm pushing, but for people who look at it, it could be a different story entirely.
Yeah. It's amazing. And why do you think it's taken 30 years to have your first one-man exhibition?
I suppose it's an incredibly good idea. One thing is, I'm not a good self-promoter.
Yeah.
I find that very difficult. And I think I've seen how people react to the pictures, and quite a lot of people don't get them at all because of the detail and that sort of thing. So, in a way, I felt very outsided.
Yeah.
by the art world. After I left college, I went to art galleries, and they said, "You're an illustrator. Go to publishers." And I went to publishers, and they said, "You're a fine artist."
Yeah.
You know, so I've found myself falling between the cracks of the established art world.
Yeah.
And I think I found that I thought I belonged there.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it needs somebody to look at it and say, wow, I think we should show this to other people.
Yeah, definitely.
And those are those luck things that you hear about all the time with music artists, artists, writers, whatever.
Yeah.
Suddenly you find someone who's interested enough to give it a push.
Yeah. Do you think, so I think about something quite a lot with my own work, whatever that may be, because I think, like any art, you put a huge amount of yourself into it.
Yeah.
And I think the self-promotion becomes very hard because actually you're not just showing a piece of art, you're showing a very deep part of yourself. And I think that makes it even harder.
I think it does make it harder. And I think in some ways, when you finished a piece of a drawing, you are usually dissatisfied with the outcome. That's fine. Dissatisfaction is actually the thing that drives you on and to do another picture, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Creativity is driven by being dissatisfied with what you've done.
I like that.
And I think it's very important to remember that and not just consign it to the bin and walk away and say, I'm not doing that again.
It's like, smashed it.
Yeah, no.
Completed art, done. Job done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you've pulled bits of pictures that I've thrown away out of waste paper bins in the past. But, I mean, the creative impetus is dissatisfaction with what you've done already. Yeah. And I think that's absolutely fine. If people could see that is actually a very important part of the creative process.
Is there anything that you find that really helps you like get the creative juices flowing?
It's ideas.
Yeah. But where do you get that inspiration? You know, and obviously this is a difficult question. I know loads of people ask you it, but like, where do you find? Because your pictures are weird and wonderful in the best way possible.
When I do stand-up presentations of my work and things like that, I had to do it at the Edinburgh Book Festival and things like that. And the question people always ask you is, where do your ideas come from?
Yeah,
and
that's amazing.
In the author's tent, there were people saying, oh, God, if I get asked, where do your ideas come from? One more time, there will be murder committed.
Yeah.
But actually, it's the best question.
Yeah. Good.
Because it's the only one that matters, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, well, it's all, anything we do is ideas, isn't it?
And for some people, it's going for a walk and things just dropping into your head. In a kind of surreal kind of way, when you're not thinking about it. Yeah. But for me, it's definitely sitting in front of a blank piece of paper and things start to buzz in my head.
I feel like most people might actually have a panic attack doing that.
Yeah, the tyranny of the white piece of paper. Yeah. I hear about it all the time. For me,
terrifying.
It's not like that.
And you just put pen to paper and just let your mind just...
And a really good way around that tyranny is to start by using, I've done loads of pictures on greaseproof paper, which from the local butcher.
So using a different medium, basically.
Absolutely. Use a rough piece of paper that doesn't matter. Yeah. And it takes away that whole feeling of preciousness that sometimes stops you.
Yeah. I mean, you do also surround yourself with art, music, good films, like you have, and that I think is obviously.
I have really good taste, Oz. That's my problem.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's just your taste is just impeccable. But you do, but like I feel like a big part of where those ideas must come from is that you have had a really bonkers life experience, growing up in not the UK at all.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I grew up in the Far East and was very... I didn't realise it at the time, of course, because I was quite young. But it has flowed into a lot of the work that I do.
And I've only really noticed that recently, but it is massively, massively influenced by
Absolutely has.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice it actually as either.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things, And in that piece that I wrote for the zine about the Horpar Villa, absolutely amazing. It stuck with me all these years. I was only 5 or something.
It's incredible.
But it's absolutely foundational to creativity, because at that place, it was just mad. Yeah. There were so many different things being bombarded at you all the time that somehow that sense of eclecticism became very important to me.
Yeah, amazing.
So it's the same in music. I'll listen to plain song, and blues, but also, death metal and anything
your music
between.
Taste is certainly eclectic.
It's very, very eclectic.
Yeah.
Because I love that sense of stuff coming from all different areas.
Yeah. I think it's so important to creativity. Ultimately, is like having that exposure, and that's what I feel so lucky to have grown up in an environment that was, eclectic to say the least.
It was,
yeah.
In lots of ways, your upbringing was kind of chaotic.
Yeah.
And chaos is my métier. It's where I live.
Yeah. No. I know that feeling. Okay. So we have one question which we end our Wildish Views with.
Okay.
Which is, if you could leave a message carved into a tree for future people to find, what would you write?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's quite a good question, isn't it?
Yeah. Henry, who we asked before, his one was, "It's just around the corner," which I quite liked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, you mean the fast-moving car that's going to run you over?
Exactly. Yeah, you don't know what's just around the corner. It could be anything.
Yeah, sure. You can't say "just do it," can you? Because I think that's copyrighted.
That is definitely copyrighted. That is definitely copyrighted.
That's a trademark somewhere. What would I say on a tree? Have faith in your children.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They're much better than you.
Yeah.
No, that's going a bit too far. That's a lot of carving.
Yeah, that's a lot
going
of carving. On. I feel like something that you've always told me that would be quite short and is well carved is essentially don't listen. Ultimately, obviously you have to listen to some people, but I think one of the things that you've instilled in me throughout my life, which has benefited me probably more than anything else in my life, is just don't listen. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't listen to what anyone else really has to say. Some feedback's useful. Mostly it's not.
Yeah. Of course, for some people that's foundational to how they are.
Yeah.
Is to listen and do what people say and all the rest of it. But I think I was set free when I went to the RCA.
Yeah.
Where they said...
The Royal College of Art, which is the RCA. Not everyone.
Yeah. Is basically different is best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's enhancing the world.
Yeah.
If you do the same as everybody else, then really, what are you giving?
Well, exactly. I couldn't agree more. I can remember from such a young age, that I've always been different, definitely. like most people would find me quite strange to a degree.
I don't think that's true.
When I was younger, relative to the people around me, I was definitely different.
Oh,
for sure.
Yes, well, you knew what you wanted.
Yeah,
from a very early age.
Yeah,
which rather.
But I think
made your teachers
didn't love
think it was weird.
No, teachers didn't love it. Peers didn't always love it.
No,
but I can remember, particularly at primary school, I definitely was very different, and I can remember probably the first and probably only time that I ever came home being like, oh, people are essentially bullying me, and you just were just like, just don't listen to them, Oz. You're just different, and that's fine.
Yeah, no.
And also, you didn't just say that's fine. You said that's a brilliant thing.
Difference
that's the best possible thing.
Difference is best.
And that has
maybe that should be what's on the tree.
Difference is best.
Yeah,
I like it. Difference is best. Yeah. Or different is best, or difference is best. Different.
And that works nicer off the tongue, doesn't it?
Does. Different is best. There we go.
Yeah, and less carving.
Well, Dad, Jonny Boatfield, thank you.
No, thank you, Oz.
Us on A Wildish View.
No, that's brilliant.
And I can't wait to see your exhibition tomorrow.